Weightlifting Talk, guys.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Weightlifting Talk, guys, with John North, Donny, Shankle, your hosts. I'm drunk off coffee. Donny Shankle, stronger than an ox, and we're addicted to lifting weight over our head.
Stronger than an ox.
Strong as an ox, baby. I don't know if you guys are in your office working, at the gym lifting, the CrossFit box smoking.
Oh, you're hilarious.
I don't know where you're listening to this, but it should get you jacked up. I'm jacked up. I'm ready to talk weightlifting and really whatever else seems to pop in the mind.
I'm pretty jacked, too. Can't tell.
How are you feeling today, Donny?
Feel good. You know, I went to bed on time last night. I feel pretty good. How do you feel?
I feel good. You know, finally settled in, moved in.
Yeah.
Getting on the daily routine of things.
I saw you in the gym out there missing some light snatches in front. What was that about?
You've been messing with me. It's what you've been doing. I missed a few lifts, and you're getting in my head. You told me I was on my toes.
I had a fun time.
You asked me how many hours of sleep I've been getting.
You guys kept giving me stuff out there, you know. I figured, you know, Coach is going to be gone today. He's going to school-age nationals. Speaking of which, are you going to crush this afternoon's workout?
Absolutely. A lot of people, why don't you explain
I was hoping you'd do that. I think you would do
where Krushka comes from.
Krushka.
Well, I think you should explain because I actually got it from you. When I first started out in the sport of weightlifting, I never, you train to get where you want to go.
Well, Krushka is a Bulgarian term I learned training with Abajev from a couple weightlifters while I was training out there with them. And basically it means you don't give it all in training, you know. You go ahead and pull back some and don't let your coach see that you're capable of a lot more, you know. Basically, so if you got 2 workouts in a day, you can come back that second workout and feel better. So it's basically not giving 110%. That's what Krushka is. You know, and a funny story, which I always think about, you know, was when Martin Pashoff told me this. Weightlifter Angel Popoff, you know, when he was training, Martin would say, you could always hear him, you know, but you could never see the guy in the gym, you know. And he's one of the best weightlifters around, you know. His coaches would say, hey, Angel, what'd you just hit? And you wouldn't see the guy, but you hear his voice just say, oh, I just hit 165. I just hit 170, but you can never see him.
Yeah.
You know, so not that that's saying it's crushed, but, you know, he couldn't be found.
Yeah.
You know, so are you planning on crushing today?
Well, you know, I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to lift weights. I think there's different types of Krushka. What's that? To the very far back, to the left. Sorry about that. I think there's different types of Krushka. You get your, you know, not even showing up for training at all Krushka.
Oh, yeah.
You get your showing up when coach is gone and doing, you know, bodybuilding Krushka,
Yeah.
where you know, rep out some curls for the girls and mess around. And then you get your snatch, clean, and jerk. You're serious, but you're not completing the full workout Krushka.
All right, so you're going to show up at all?
I'm going to show up.
All right.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to do some snatch, clean, jerk. Maybe a little curls.
I'll be up there.
Maybe a little back work with you.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Drink some coffee.
I guess it's always
You know.
good to do what you're supposed to do even when nobody's watching.
Well, I think that when you do it full time and you're in the gym all day, every day, you get paid to do it.
Yeah.
And you have, you know, it comes to a point where you're not going into the gym because you want to.
Yeah.
You're going in the gym because you have to.
Yeah.
2 different worlds. I trained for 2 years in a situation where no one cared if I showed up. I would just show up because I wanted to. I had something to prove. So I'd show up every single day and I'd train my ass off.
So you think it's habit by now? You know, you just, as part of your daily routine, you don't think anything of it. You just get up and go to the gym.
It's work.
Yeah.
It's not a sport to me anymore. It's not something.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's work. You know, when people ask me, you know, why'd you move out here to South Carolina from California? I say work related. That's all I tell. I just say work. I don't tell them I'm a weightlifter. I don't tell them I moved out here for training. I just say work.
I get that.
If they ask me what I do, then I say, I'm on the U.S. team training for the Olympics.
You're always wearing the sweats and the white T-shirts. I say, well, it's really just my job uniform. I'm just.
That's all it is.
That's what I am.
Especially now when they're giving you a stipend that pays your bills and rent and grocery money.
I guess it's a little bit out of the element to go walking around IKEA in a singlet.
But look, I mean, the thing is that I still have, much to prove, much to accomplish.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, want to make an Olympic team.
Oh,
I want to make Worlds next year and win another title, and so on and so on. So you can't crush all the time. Yeah. And people might get confused about the blogs I write about, him or the devil in a red dress.
Speaking of
the blog I wrote called Rest, how you never want to rest.
Trap King.
I just wrote a blog called Trap King, yes. I just put it up. I haven't plugged it yet, but it's up.
I like it.
Thank you. It's a story, metaphor, chapter 1 and 2.
I like it.
I said it's about the traps. And the first caller we got in the last radio show asked me, you say, the traps don't do anything. For a few days after, when I kind of went over and over with my answer. And I want to say that, yes, the traps do work. Mm-hmm. Yes, they activate. And yes, they do play a part in the sport. Do I think that they do a lot? No. I don't think that you should ever coach them or think about them. It's just like asking your coach, what foot do I jerk with out in front?
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't have to ask or you shouldn't have to think. I'm going to go up behind you, I'm going to push you, and you're automatically going to drive that foot out. Mm-hmm. Just like, trying to learn how to slalom ski on the water. Mm-hmm. So I think this whole shrug, I think it's nonsense, and I think it's like tits on a boar. I explained in my blog. It does absolutely nothing. Or I shouldn't say absolutely nothing, but weightlifting is a full body workout. It's a full body team.
Absolutely.
It takes a full team.
Absolutely.
So saying focus, I just think that it's the traps and the shrug is something that is talked about too much. Especially in the new way of lifting, and that's what I explain about in my blog. I mean, back when the bar was not allowed to touch your body in weightlifting, that is the only way to do it. Pull it up to your eyeballs, shrug the bar up, and go under. But now that athletes are allowed to use their body like a catapult system, as I call the Superman pull, there are more efficient ways, in my opinion, to lifting weights. And also, I want to say that it allows people like me, weak-legged athletes, to compete against guys like you that are just naturally strong mofos. Because we are using our body as a catapult. And it's like cheating curls. I'm going to be able to curl more if I use my body to swing back and forth.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you just had to be freaky strong.
You think there comes a point when you're not really thinking about any of that, that you're just moving so fast, and all the repetition you've put in, even thinking about shrugging, even thinking about pulling yourself under, even thinking about finishing, you think that all goes out the window eventually at a certain point, and you're just focused on moving as fast as possible?
I do, yes.
Yeah. See, that's how I feel.
And that's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And is that where you're at?
No, I mean, when first starting out, I think it's important to think about what you're doing and to listen to your coach. And it's always important to listen to your coach. But now, I kind of just blank out.
Yeah.
I kind of just let go and I get up there. And the only really cue I'm giving myself is move as fast as possible.
Move.
And
that's the thing that I don't think is talked about that much in the sport is speed. And just, you had something you would tell me a lot when I first started out in the sport is move, boy.
Yeah,
you got to move.
It's an act of violence.
Violence, yeah.
Glenn said that one day. He used that word, violent, and it made so much sense when I heard that word. And it was a game changer for me. That one day when he said that, it's an act of violence, and you hit that ball with your hips and you go under. It's a violent motion.
Yeah.
And I guess I get a little bit lazy sometimes. But you can hear it well in one video of me on YouTube at the American Open. I missed my opener. And Glenn says on the second attempt, you can hear him in the background, move, Donny. So So I think it's always to get a little refresher, always a good reminder from people that when you're up there on that platform, put everything else out the window at that point and just focus on moving and moving violently, you know. So, we got any callers out there?
Well, I tell people that the guy that took 10th place at Nationals this year and last year and all the other meets that I've won or got top 2, the guy that took 10th place this year at Nationals, I guarantee you out-squats me. He has stronger legs. I have the weakest legs in USA weightlifting.
You think so?
I do. I am not a strong person. I can do 8 pull-ups. I did a CrossFit workout once. Not Grace, not Isabel, and just involved the snatch and
whatever.
What'd you do?
What was the workout?
I don't know. It was, it was ridiculous. I don't know how those crazy people do this. You have to row 500 meters. You have to do 22 kettlebell swings and 13 pull-ups, and you have to do it that same cycle 3 times. I couldn't even get through the first because I could not kettlebell swing 22 times, seriously, and I could not do 5 pull-ups on the very first thing. That's how weak I am. You know, I think it's all relevant, but my point is that I'm able to use speed and phenomenal technique to lift weights.
You do good, too.
I'm going to say I'm not weak, but the reason why I'm beating that guy in 10th place is because I'm using my body as a catapult system. I'm basically doing cheating curls.
Yeah.
I've mastered the snatch. Yeah. I've mastered the clean. I got to work on the jerk. And I got to get stronger, of course. But speed and learning the relationship between the bar and yourself. It's like dating a woman. You have a relationship with the bar that's completely different than me and everybody else listening. It's a relationship, and hopefully one day you'll get lucky.
Well, the jerk's the most difficult, you know.
And I have not, we've broken up.
If you put it in a row, jerk is going to be the most difficult. Snatch is
She's
going to be
a bitch.
The most difficult. Clean is going to be the easiest.
She's a two-faced bitch. I'm sorry. Excuse my language, but, 1 minute she'll make out with you and sleep with you.
Who, the jerk?
The jerk.
Oh.
And then the next minute she's out with another man.
Yeah.
I was going to send my gold medal around the world after nationals, and she stabbed me in the back. Yeah. John, what's your opinion on the jerk? How do you get better at it? How do you get better at the jerk?
Oh, better at the jerk?
Yeah.
Oh, you need to get louder. Just like anything else, just like snatching and cleaning. We're just going to keep at it, Can they hear us?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm moving around my chair here.
We got a caller.
John saying that no one can hear me.
Yeah, you got to speak up. We moved around the mic a little more. Want to take this call?
What's his name? Yeah, let's take it.
870. Let's see what he has to say.
Something wrong in your technique, or maybe earlier on in your career.
Hey, whoa. You're on right now. We missed the first part. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man. John Derman from Arkansas. I was asking maybe earlier on in your career how you approach it now. When you find a weakness in your technique, like, I don't know, maybe not enough glute strength or something like that, do you target that in your workouts, or do you just get better at the lift itself? You know what I mean? Like, I have trouble with some strength in my shoulders. Like, should I target the weakness in my lift, like in my jerk or whatever, or should I just continue to get better at the lifts? Like, better at jerk, just keep hammering my technique, or should I, try to single in on what the weakness is in my body and then target that in my program?
What's your name again?
John Derman.
John Derman. How long you been lifting?
Man, I lifted in college, and we had an Olympic. I played football in the SEC. I actually played Shankle. I don't know if you remember him. Do you remember Taylor Huskisson?
Yeah, I know
from
Taylor.
Wichita Falls?
Yeah, I remember Taylor.
Yeah, he was at Arkansas when I was there, and that's when I started lifting, man. So probably like 7 years.
That's snatch and clean jerk.
Yeah.
What's your best in the lifts?
My best clean, we did it from a hang, and it was 405. My jerk's way down from that. It's like 320, 325, and snatch is not. Snatch is like 230.
I mean,
and that's why I don't know is I'm at the bottom. I'm very weak on snatch. I don't know if y'all were ever weak at the bottom, that you hammer more like snatch balance or overhead squat or.
Well, what are you doing right now? What's your program look like in a quick?
Okay, I do like a old Poliquin split. I do like kind of a posterior anterior deal, and I do Olympic every day. So I'll have. I don't even know.
I'm
sorry.
What do you? You're speaking Spanish. What do you do as far as your training program for weightlifting?
Sorry, man. I do Monday I'll snatch, and that same day I'll do like the backside, like my hamstrings and glutes, like my posterior chain work. And then I'll also do my shoulders. And then Tuesday I'll clean and jerk, and then I'll do my more pressing stuff, and then my squat and stuff. And then I kind of repeat that with lower volume later in the week. So snatch.
Don, when you're snatching and cleaning, are you doing full lifts or are you catching them in the power?
Yeah, I'm catching at the bottom, full lift.
All the time, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. I think, from what it sounds like right now, you're doing a lot of variation in your training. And if you're really trying to fix the snatch and clean and jerk, and that's your main goal, I would just stick with snatching and clean and jerking every day, as your training program. And I think doing that, you're going to see some improvement right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't really worry about any extra posterior chain work, or don't really worry about any extra pressing, especially for the jerk. Really, the jerk is one of those lifts where it's the one where you either got it or you don't. But that doesn't mean you can't correct it, And there's a couple things you can do to really get that jerk more efficient, and that's getting that back knee down, dipping and driving fast, slapping that lead foot and pushing that head through. If you're going down the list and making sure that you're doing that, then that's going to help you. And as far as getting more comfortable in the bottom of your snatch, there is really no better way to do it than to just snatch. So drop the snatch balances.
Okay.
Drop the overhead squats. It sounds like, from your numbers, you're a pretty strong guy. So I would really just put some specialization for right now and just snatch, clean, and jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man.
And you do that for a while. If you do that for a while, I'm sure you're gonna see some results. So I hope that helps you, brother.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, thanks for the call, John, and keep us posted on how your training's going.
Will do, man. Thanks a lot.
Buddy.
This brings up something that I wanted to talk about today too. We're raising money for this movie, The Artist and the Olympian, which I'm pretty excited about. And yesterday I was in a chat room, and I tell you what, the second most common question I get from people in emails, first being they want to know about diet. Everybody wants to know about diet. What do you eat? And the second question is, it's always about programming. What do you do? How do you do it? And programming is great, but it's for an athlete. In this case, I'm going to use a weightlifter who has put in his time with the snatch and the clean and jerk, who's gone in the gym every day and consistently trained and kept coming back. And there's a period there where you're just going to have to go in the gym every day, snatch, clean and jerk, and right off the bat, just doing that, you're going to make gains, and you're going to make good gains. And there's no need to add in any extra what I call subordinate exercises, or call them auxiliary exercises or assistant exercises. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go in the gym every day, especially if you're someone who doesn't even have a year of training under his belt. I got guys and girls email me. They don't even have 3 months of training.
Well, that's why I asked that guy, what his best lifts were and how long he's been lifting, because it matters.
Well, he said he's been lifting for 7 years.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
If you're not making progress, then something's wrong.
Yeah, if you're lifting for 7 years and you're pain cleaning 4 or 5,
and snatching 230.
Snatching 230. I mean, obviously, the only thing that I can think of is that in those 7 years, you haven't put the snatch and clean and jerk at the vanguard of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and like I said, he has no relationship with the lifts.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing too many other stuff, and
and
who knows? I mean, he's probably got really strong hamstrings and really strong shoulders from all the other crap he's doing. But I guarantee you, if you start snatching clean and jerk, all that's kind of come together,
he's
going to make huge gains.
Yeah, nothing fixes it. You know, I say it sometimes in my blog too. Just the training by itself, just the training, the snatch and clean and jerk, you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn how you're going to lift the most efficient. You know, what works best for John doesn't work best for me. But just doing the snatches and clean and jerks every day, you're going to build muscle. You're going to learn that all-important bottom position, and that bottom position is key. You know, you can look at a picture of me at last National, snatching 165. My butt is literally 2 inches off the floor. And people say, well, he's genetically predisposed to do that. No, I'm not.
You have a great relationship.
I'm not genetically predisposed to do that. That comes through adaptation. That comes through going to the gym for the past few years and constantly snatching, hammering that position, and getting that low.
Yeah, and getting comfortable in the bottom position. I tell people all the time in my seminars and on my blog, sit down there, grab a bag of popcorn, and watch a movie in that snatch hole, in that snatch position. Get comfortable. You're going to be able to stand up with a snatch.
Yeah.
Your front squat and your back squat and your clean are much more weight than a snatch.
Yeah.
And a lot of people miss a lift because they try to stand up too early, and they either miss it, mostly behind or in front.
Yeah.
You know, it's a comfort thing. Now, in the clean, you want to get out of that hole. You got a lot of weight on your shoulders, and you still have to jerk it. Bounce out of that hole like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. You know, you might have to do a few bounces. That's why I have a lot of guys at my seminar, girls and guys, do double, triple, bounce, 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 bounce. It's rhythm. It's rhythm. It's speed. It's being an athlete.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing the full snatch and you're not getting comfortable in that hole and the weight feels uncomfortable, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what, the number one thing that I have seen that kills people who have a strength background when they try to transfer over into weightlifting, the number one exercise that just kills people is low bar back squats.
Oh. Donny, I'm so glad you mentioned this. Every single person that knows me personally knows that lift, I have nightmares about it.
Yeah.
It's nails on a chalkboard. And let me tell you what pisses me off about that lift, just like you. It ruins careers. It ruins dreams. It ruins people's goals.
Yeah.
It is. Look, I've been in this sport for 5 years. I've competed, trained, and coached seminars all over the world. And only just about 7 months ago, out of my 5-year career, I saw somebody do a low bar back squat. Yeah. That should tell you something, that nobody in a high level of weightlifting is doing a low bar back squat. But I saw it in a CrossFit gym. Yeah. And I saw it. I wrote a blog about this. johnwood.blogspot.com. I saw this, and I thought it was a monster that just came down from outer space that was killing people and sucking their blood. It was the most ugly, disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Why would anybody ever do such a thing?
You know what it does? You know, the thing that screws up. Here's the deal. In weightlifting, there's a golden rule that supersedes everything else. You've got to keep your back straight.
Yeah, amen.
And you do it better than anyone I've ever seen it. That's why you're, in my opinion, one of the greatest snatchers that has ever lived.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. It's true.
Yeah, thank you.
But why that is because when you watch yourself set up in a snatch, there's a little thing you do. It's like cocking a pistol.
You're right on.
Pull those shoulders back.
Yeah, dynamic start.
Dropping those hips, and you see the crinkle in your shirt. That back tightens up, and you are vertical. And you hold that strong back arch all the way through the pull, and then when you receive it, and I talk about this in my blog too, there's a make ready position that's a precursor to the set, and you make ready beautifully. And then when you hit that catch, it looks exactly like the make ready. You're straight up and down. Now what the low bar back squat does, everything's forward.
It what?
Everything's forward.
Ugh.
The chest is down.
God.
The back is damn near parallel.
The butt
to
is
the
high.
ground. The
We
butt
call
is
that
high.
the stripper pole.
And if you get strong in that position, fine. If you're a powerlifter,
Yeah.
fine. But if you constantly do it that way, your body's gonna go that way.
Well, where is the carryover?
There is no carryover. Not for weightlifting.
Where people
None.
train
Zero.
for.
It's actually counterproductive.
Donnie, please talk to me. Help me with this.
It's counterproductive. If you keep doing it, you're always going to want to catch your snatches
Yeah.
with your ass that high.
Yep.
You're always going to want to catch your cleans that high. And where's the bar going to be? It ain't going to be over your hips. It's going to be out in front. You got no chance at catching that lift. None. Now, I'm sure people are thinking, well, I can't get in that position with my back shipping down. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it overnight. This is something that takes years.
Yeah. It creates awful habits.
Yeah.
And again, I know I've said this before, but you have to squat like you're lifting the snatch and clean. And you have to have a relationship. The further you get away with that relationship and that feel, the more bad habits and the worse you're going to be.
Yeah. And that goes directly back to that programming that we talked about in that chat.
You just
Stop thinking about programming. Stop.
Well, last show I said the best program is no program.
Yeah.
And, this is mostly for a beginner, maybe even a guy that's been lifting a few years, took 8th place at nationals, feeling kind of cocky, you know what I'm saying? Come at me and I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the best program is no program, or the best program is just, at the end of the day, snatch, clean, jerk. There's only one program, snatch, clean, jerk,
Yeah.
I mean, but, I'm glad I brought that up because, I get it. I guess before we go, yes, there is a time for programming, but you need to put the work in through just snatching and clean and jerking, and then when you find deficiencies in your lift, then you can work with a coach to fix those deficiencies with some other extra exercises.
Yeah.
But really, push it.
Yeah.
Push the single. Don't worry about coming down and hit a set of 3. Don't worry about coming down and hit a set of 2. Don't worry about going over the GHD and hitting a set of 10. Don't worry about going to the dumbbell rack and making your shoulders from it doing dumbbell presses. Drop it.
Get out of here, man.
Get out.
Gosh. Stop it.
Sometimes all it takes is just going up there and pushing through a comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I said it in a blog that I wrote on my blog, DonnyShankle.blogspot.com.
Great blog, by the way.
Thank you. I said at the end of one post, this is what I said. Listen to this. I said, this kind of gym and training style is a pit for mediocrity. You will never excel nor become great in this kind of atmosphere. These are the same gyms who teach you to lift with broomsticks and sensitivity. From the day you begin weightlifting, learn the feeling of what heavy is and display the courage of a champion to deal with it.
Yeah.
I promise you, this is an important thing. After you miss it 20 times, sure, you might miss 40 more, but one day you're going to get it. And bam, you just broke through that comfort zone. And you didn't do it in the squat rack, and you didn't do it in the dumbbell rack, and you didn't do it outside in the parking lot pulling sleds and flipping tires. You did it on the platform like a real weightlifter by snatching and clean and jerking.
Yeah, it's mental. It's any time that you're missing a weight and you're going underneath it and you're still missing it 30 times, 40 times, 50 times, that's mental. You're scared of it. You're not confident with it. And then you're right. Once you hit it and you break through that wall, is what I call it. There's many walls in weightlifting. Then the next day, you hit it with ease.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now you can't do 140.
Let me give you an example.
YouTube, Danny Lear, Attitude Nation's Danny Lear. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. People ask me, but John, why would you put up one of your athletes missing a weight for 10 minutes? Well, I said, because it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's one of the best videos I've ever made, and I watch it daily because it's the fight, it's the hunger, it's the determination. I don't mean to get corny here, but he makes that with ease now. And he broke through that wall finally, and now he's snatching 145 as a CrossFitter, wearing board shorts and 5-finger shoes. It's impressive.
Yeah. This is something that I want to talk about.
215, real quick. I just want to let you know we'll be with you in just a sec.
This is something I wanted to talk about in my book. There's something called The Value of a Miss.
Oh. Can you write a blog about that?
And what it's going to be about is when you miss a ball, when you miss an attempt, it goes behind you, it goes in front of you. You know what you did do still?
Yeah.
You still pulled it. You still went under it. You still finished. You still tried. There would be times training with Abadjiev where I just pulled it, and I rarely clock a lift.
You're talking about Ivan Avajayev?
Ivan Avajayev, yeah, uncle. And he would still get up if it was a personal record on the bar and shake my hand.
Yeah.
Because it was a start. That one session, I might have just pulled it. That second session, I might have pulled it with more authority. That third session, I might have racked it. That fourth, fifth session, I stood up with it. That sixth session, I tried to jerk it, but left it out in front. That 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th session, I got it. And like I said, I didn't do it with any extra work. I did it by snatching and clinching.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Well, I tell you, it shocks me that there are some gyms that I have been in that when they miss it once, they drop down.
They drop down.
They do their doubles or they move on to another exercise. In my opinion, they're scared.
Yeah.
They are absolutely scared of trying that weight again.
Oh, there's a place for that, but I'll tell you what, that place will never be on the top of the podium.
No.
You know.
I've trained with the best. I've been beaten by the best, and I have beat the best.
Yeah.
And I've seen how they all train.
Yeah.
And not one of them stops at the first try. I've seen, well, you broke your neck.
Yeah.
You broke your neck at Nationals from going underneath.
Fractured a vertebrae. Yeah. Right before at the most important meet for me, probably, you know.
On the air.
Yeah.
Well, I heard his music in the gym playing. I guess he didn't know.
Yeah, at Nationals, I dropped that bar on my neck, you know, and it fractured a vertebrae, you know. But you know, even before I talk about that, you know, I was stuck at a 170 snatch for 5 years. You know, I snatched 170 in less than 2 years when I started the sport, and I was stuck at that weight for 5 years. When I was finally in the good enough shape to push it, I must have gone after 171, I think 40 times. You know, I counted up, it had to be at least 40 times, and I dropped that thing on my upper back that many times, left it out in front that many times. But I hit it, finally. And do you know how many attempts it took me to get 173?
How many?
The first try.
Wow.
That's the value of a miss.
Well, I remember seeing the video.
Remember the 173 when I hit it?
Shock.
I was in shock because I had just pounded myself with 171 for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking coming in 3-4 times a week, going to maximum.
And I bet half of those were Clark's.
Oh my God. You know, well, actually, I didn't Clark that much, you know, because I'm not a wimp.
You don't Clark a lot.
I don't. I mean, it comes to a point where you're either.
Yeah. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. You know.
Yeah.
Basically, that you just lay down at night and tell yourself, look, if I'm going to do this,
yeah,
we're in. But yeah, the first time, and I know in the pit of my stomach that making that 173 in training, the first time, had a lot to do with how many times I mentally attacked 171.
Yeah.
Fearlessly. You know? And you walk a fine line. You walk a fine line when you start moving those kinds of weights drug-free. And yeah, you risk the chance of dropping it on yourself. But I'm fine. You know, I'm out there training again.
Well, the first time I ever snatched 160, it was the same story as you. But the funny thing was that I probably attempted a 160 kilo snatch 25 times. I tried it for about 4 or 5 months. And here's a fun fact for you. I never went underneath it once.
Yeah.
I clarked 160 kilos for 5 months straight. And if anybody doesn't know what a clark is, it means you pull it. You might even attempt to finish, but you don't go underneath the bar. Mostly because you're scared. I'm going to admit, I was scared shitless. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I'd snatch 50, I'd snatch 55, I'd maybe even go 58. I'd make 58.
Mm-hmm.
2 kilos away from 60. I'd go 60. Sometimes I would even clark it when it got to my knees.
4 pounds.
4 pounds.
4 pounds more.
The California Strength Open, a few months before the Arnold Championships, I went 150, 155 on my first 2 attempts. Coach said, Coach Glenn Penley, greatest coach alive, said, let's go 160. And I said, all right. It was a big crowd. I said, I got to go under.
Yep.
Just like you said. I mean, what am I doing this for?
Yep.
I've dedicated my whole entire life to weightlifting. And you're going to tell me that in front of 200 people, I'm going to not go under this weight?
Yeah.
If I can't snatch 160 as a 94, then why do this? Yeah. I might as well go work at Walmart. Yeah. Maybe go back to school and fail my classes again and get drunk every night. Yeah. Get another DUI.
I'm glad you bring that up.
You know, so 160 on the bar. You could see it on YouTube. I went underneath it, to make a long story short, and I made it. Yeah. First time I ever went under 160, I made it, and it was just like your video of 173. I was in absolute shock. I wasn't thinking about technique. I wasn't thinking about the Superman pole, how much the traps actually play into it.
It all goes out the window at some point.
It all goes out the window. I went underneath it. I said, screw it. I stopped thinking, just like my football coach always said, John, the minute you start thinking, the minute we lose games.
Am I going to go up here and be a man, or am I going to walk away? That's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. You know?
And ever since then, about 2 months later, there's that video of me snatching 166, 1 kilo over the American record.
I remember that.
Boom, bang. Get the hell out of my way.
And you did that the day after going to full maximum.
Full max. Well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother topic that we'll do on these shows about training hard. Yeah. You know, creating a monster. Yeah. You can't low bar back squat, people. God. Stop low bar back squatting.
You see what it does? It just,
it's the most unathletic. Look, I find weightlifting beautiful.
Stop and snatch, clean and jerk.
I find it gorgeous. That's why I call the Archangel and even my coffee. She's beautiful, right? It's a finesseful sport. It really is. Yeah. It really is.
It's not a natural movement.
And then you see someone low bar back squat.
It's done in a plyo suit.
And I want to vomit. Stop it.
We got to get off this.
We got to get. I apologize.
Let's go snatch, clean and jerk.
Why do they do it?
I don't know.
You know, in all the seminars I do, I was teaching at Diablo CrossFit, great people, great gym. And, you know, I say this. I say, look, it might have some great effect for CrossFit. I know absolutely nothing about CrossFit.
Yeah,
nothing. Who knows? The low bar back squat could be great for CrossFit. Guys could be getting, girls could be getting freaky strong. Great, good for you. But we're talking about weightlifting.
This show's called Weightlifting Talk.
This is not Olympic weightlifting. It's just, the sport is called weightlifting. It's not Oli lifting. It's not Olympic weightlifting. It's not powerlifting. Mm-hmm. The sport is called weightlifting. Mm-hmm. Stop low bar back. What are we going to talk about next, Donny? I'm getting.
You know the great thing about weight. I mean, there's a lot of great things about weightlifting, and you know, there's a lot of things that I hate this sport sometimes. You know, but it's that fire that keeps me going.
It's an awful sport.
But here's the thing about weightlifting that you don't find in powerlifting, that you don't find in physique training, that you don't find in strongman, or you know, there's a split-second decision of whether or not I'm going to go underneath this bar. And it's fast. And if you move slow, you're going to crack your neck, like I did.
Full commit.
Even with that many years in.
Yeah.
If you move slow and you don't command, I tell it all the time, you've got to command yourself to move. You don't find it anyplace else. There's not that line. There's not that line of, it's time to move. That split-second decision. And that is what makes weightlifters one of the things. You know, we all come from a common background, mm-hmm. But that's one of the things that defines us. That split-second decision, that fearlessness, that moment that is so quick. And I'm glad you brought up thinking about those past experiences before you hit that 160 on the platform. You were measuring it. You were measuring the moment, and you wanted it. I've done that. I remember working in the lock factories. I remember up on top of the roof, hammering shingles. You know, all the bold jobs out there that this wasn't for me. You know, there was even that time where I walked away from the sport for a little bit. Glad I got back on the phone with Glenn. I said, what are you doing? You're not done yet. And I got back in. And every time I go in there to lift now, especially around you guys, because you fire me up, every time I'm going to lift now, I weigh the balance again. And that doesn't ever make me hesitate for a moment about knowing what I want and going to get it. You know what I mean? And if you do that 10,000 times in the gym, which is what it's going to take to be an Olympian, you'll do it every other area in life too. You won't doubt yourself. Determined, committed, and you'll go under it. You'll go after it. You'll go for it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even with this radio show we're doing, this is our second show. I get a little nervous. What the hell is it, man? We know what we're talking about, and you know it in people who know what they're talking about because they talk about it confidently. You know, they don't doubt themselves. I bump into people all the time who talk about their professions, who talk about what they want to be, what they want to do, and they do it mumbled. They do it in a real soft tone. You know, choosing not knowing what words to choose. When I talk about weightlifting, I know what I'm talking about. And I say it and I state it. I state it as a fact, as an objective fact, because I've done it. You know what I mean? I've seen the dirty side and I've seen what the clean side could do to you. That's why I got more respect for American weightlifters than any other weightlifter in the world. But I guess I'm kind of going off the deep end there.
Because they're clean.
Because they're clean. I don't care what you do in the world. Ain't no one, no athlete, weightlifter, can hang with a few select American weightlifters who have put the time in, who have pounded themselves, who have made that split-second decision with no chemicals in their body. But they do it with just sweat and grit, true grit and want, you know. And they get up the next morning feeling like absolute garbage and go do it again, you know. You don't see them going in there doing low bar back squats. You go and see them there doing snatches and clean and jerks. You don't see them going on threads, forms, columns, trying to find out what's magical. You don't see them trying to find the sweetest program. You don't hear it from weightlifters like John, Chad Vaughn, Kendrick Ferris. You know why? Because they just went in the gym, snatched, clean and jerked, and did it. Put in the hours, put in the time. And it's dirty and it's nasty. And you feel like garbage and you leave your family. You know, you walk away from opportunity, but you stay in there and you grit it out. That's the program. The hard work is the program. And it ain't sacrifice. You know, I hear people talk about, you've sacrificed a lot for weightlifting. No, I haven't. I haven't sacrificed a damn thing. Because it's what I want. So I place it at a higher level than anything else. So I'm not giving anything up for it because that's what I want. That's what I'm after. There's no sacrifice. You start talking about sacrifice, you've already lost. It wasn't a sacrifice to come out of South Carolina. It's what I wanted. I wanted it. I knew training at the muscle driven facility was going to be a great thing. I knew I was training with the best there is. You know, I'm sitting right next to one of the best there is. And I knew if I just stuck with it for another, God bless me, however long it takes, I'm keeping the dream alive, baby. Keeping the dream alive, you know. So.
Well, you got a lot of people behind you, pushing you, supporting you, including myself. And
it's hot in here, huh? John and I both got our shirts off. We're sweating our
Well, I noticed ever
off.
since I moved out here, I don't think I've worn a shirt once.
You know.
I walk around the supermarket with no shirt.
I always take my shirt off out there.
You can't wear a shirt.
I come in a wife beater. Yeah. And I still take it off.
If I ever wear a shirt, it's my the John North Attitude Deep V.
Oh, that's a good shirt.
It's a nice shirt. You gotta let the neck breathe. You can't be jailed in by a collar.
Yeah.
You know?
What is your best selling?
That's my best selling shirt.
That's your best, the V?
Well, I'll tell you.
John
Sweetie, what's the best selling shirt right now? My wife's in the building. She does all the business work.
AttitudeNation.com, so you can find
JohnNorthAttitude.com.
JohnNorthAttitude.com.
What's the best selling shirt, Sweetie? Our classic, our very first shirt ever released. What is a light day?
I like that shirt.
Yeah, that's how it all started with that shirt. I think the Shankle shirt is our second best seller.
Really?
Right on the front. There's nothing fancy about it. It's black, because black is the hell we train in every day.
I've seen it. Black.
And it just says Shankle. What's it say on the back, Puff? This is weightlifting.
Oh, it's classic.
And I think the V-neck is our third.
You took one of my ideas, you know.
I'm making money off your name. So
I wanted to make a shirt that just had weightlifter on it in a classy way, but you jumped it.
I jumped it.
You had it.
Well, you came out with those damn keychains.
You got to act quick.
You came out with the keychains.
You don't act quick, you're going to drop something on yourself. The keychains were great.
And the towels.
And the towels were great.
That was my next idea.
And the posters.
Well, I did that too.
Posters were beautiful.
Fantastic.
I think
I just framed yours in my living room.
that was a moment that, you know, on the little bottom left, we put, I told Glenn, I want Donny Shankle, Paris 2011. I think there's something else. Because I wanted to add that in there for me.
Yeah.
You know, I got the signature out there for the people who want to hang it up in the gym.
Yeah.
But I put that in there so I could remember that moment, because that was a great moment. You know, Paris World Championship. This was an absolute dream.
Thank you for representing this country.
Oh, thank you. Only welcome.
You know, putting in your time. You wear USA proudly.
Well, thank you, John.
You know what? You wear USA well.
Look at this picture. Look at this picture of me in my singlet for the artist and the Olympian.
No, it's beautiful.
Look at this right there.
Great. I love that look.
That's the actress.
Yeah.
We're talking about the artist and the Olympian, and
the movie.
You need to go to Kickstarter.com and make a donation for this movie. We're already above what we need to have Adam Shiner, who's the director, writer, producer of the film, to make it. But I would really appreciate it if you're listening to go and make a little $5 donation, because every little bit helps, you know. The more donations we can get, the better this movie's going to come out. And I've read the screenplay for the artist and the Olympian. Glenn and I have both worked with Adam, giving him ideas of you know what a weightlifter's life is like, you know. And after reading the screenplay, I was really, really impressed. He's capturing that side of weightlifting that's a little bit dark, you know.
Well, that's what I'm excited about. You said something about it's kind of like the Dark Knight with Batman.
Yeah.
It's that, yes, Batman is a superhero and he's awesome, and you know, but there's that darkness.
The way that he wrote it out, you know,
which is fascinating to me, which I'm excited. You know, and that's why I like your blog. And to be honest, why I like my blog is because it's not just technique and programming and diet and all that bullshit.
You know what? It's
not. It's the psychology.
It's not
of
a
weightlifter.
Spectator's point of view.
It's not a spectator's point of view.
It's a competitor's point of view.
It goes deep in the mind of a weightlifter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially yours. I mean, you write some good stuff, man.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean?
I like to just see how
it ain't better than the old show.
The old show's
Trap
good.
King,
Thank you. That was fun to write.
I got to go back and read Trap King.
But I like to see how deep I can go into that dark world, you know, because it is. It's a dark world. I always talk about. That's why I call my blog the Dark Orchestra. That's what I call it. The people that read my blog know that it is. It's the way that I.
And you go to Starbucks and pound these out.
I go to Starbucks every day, and I feel that there's just a cloud, a dark cloud that just follows over me, you know. You know, even after winning meets and even losing meets, it's always there, no matter what. Yeah. No matter how good of a day I had in training, this sport will eventually kill you.
And I think Adam's capturing that. You know, go to my blog, DonnyShankle.blogspot.com, and you know, you'll see some pictures from the movie. The actress Kate Tawney, who's going to play the painter, and you'll see a picture of me, and that's the USA singing.
Beautiful woman.
That's the USA singing.
Handsome man.
Look at that.
Ah. Okay. Well, we got to call you. What's that call, Donny?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? You're on Weightlifting Talk.
870, go ahead.
We lost him. Here we go again.
Hello? Hello? Hello, you there?
Go ahead. What you
Hello? I can't hear you. Hello?
on.
Guys, you there?
Yeah, we're here. Go ahead.
Oh, Jesus, I'm on the air. I wasn't even trying to get on the air. I was just listening away. I wasn't sure if you had me on or not. How you guys doing?
What's your name, buddy?
This is Andy Fitting. I do some kettlebell training. I hold some records in the strong sport area. I really didn't have nothing to say. I was actually just listening to you guys. I saw it was posted on Facebook, and I just wanted to. I was just trying to compare, I guess, the training, compared to what we do, compared to what you guys do. It's two different things, obviously, but it has a lot of similarities in the fact that how you were explaining it and how it works, and the programming and all that stuff. It's good. It's interesting. I like it. But I really got nothing to say, actually. I was just listening away. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to get on the air. So it's good talking to you, I guess.
Well,
I'm still having a hard time hearing you, though. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's.
Well, that was great.
Sorry about that, buddy. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know much about kettlebell
He
training.
couldn't hear us talk through the mic and stuff.
I do kettlebells sometimes, but that's a good example. I don't like to talk about other people's. Because if I don't do it, I don't like to talk about it. And I expect the same for weightlifting too. But the big common thing is it's training. It's training, and all training can be looked at the same way.
Well, thanks for the call, Adam, and that's pretty badass that you have some world records in the kettlebell sport.
Yeah.
So thanks for the call. Sorry we had some issues getting through on you, but I tell you, I'm extremely drunk off coffee right now.
Oh, you really? Where is your coffee? Usually give me a sip.
I just finished my
You didn't get me any?
third Trenta of the day. It's only 1 o'clock out here.
I'm sweating, man.
We're in the room with no air conditioning. You can't low bar back squat, people.
Get in there, Scott. Get in there.
You gotta stop. I mean, I did not know that this would be the topic of the show, pretty much, but it's just something that I'm so glad that we could.
You knew how it was going to turn out, though, once it got brought up. Yeah.
I knew once it got brought up, it was going to be mentioned throughout the show.
Hey, look at this. On my blog, I got the women's cut powerful pull T-shirt. Guess what? I didn't even get a chance to explain. We were talking about the keychains, the posters, the gym towels. You didn't even get a chance to talk about the shirt. The shirt's been the biggest.
Well, the shirt is your biggest seller ever, right?
Biggest hit.
You've been breaking records.
Oh.
Who drew that?
Ben Claridad.
Get some credit to Ben
Claridad. Oh, I did. It's on. I acknowledge him as the artist in every shirt that I sell, but it's a beautiful shirt.
It's a beautiful shirt.
I love the black. And it's that bold statement that I said in that YouTube interview. And it's that great drawing that Ben drew. And it's just been going. And I got the women's cut now in small and medium. I think they look great,
A lot of people don't know this, that my very, very first day in this sport of weightlifting at Sacramento State College, before I got kicked out and, God knows what I was doing back then. The very first time I ever walked into a weightlifting gym, the person that taught me how to lift weights, the guy that I trained with for my first few months in this sport, I didn't even know what this sport entailed. I thought there was the squat. I thought you had to power everything. I was clueless.
Yeah.
Ben Claridad. Was the guy that was my first teammate. Who taught me how to lift.
Badass.
His last name is Badass.
It's either badass or jacked.
It's jacked. He's always been just jacked.
His chest, shoulders, and arms are ridiculous.
If you haven't seen Ben Claridad, YouTube him. He's got his own blog.
He's got a blog.
Fantastic
his blog is called Along the Lines. He's an artist.
Great. I'll tell you right now, Ben Claridad is
Along the Lines of on WordPress.
Ben Claridad, I'm going to say this, is the nicest person I've ever met in my whole life.
Nice. I felt like a. Can I say dick in the air?
We're not like associated with ABC or anything. I don't think we have any restrictions. We have no contract. I mean, we might offend someone.
Oh my God.
But Michael Savage offended me every day.
I felt like a dick at. I guess I'm always a dick when it's time for competition. But I remember the last competition, or maybe it was American Open. Ben Clairdat is. You know, he was in the same weight class as me, and he's in the hallway putting his shoes on. And I looked at Ben, and I think he was a 94 before, 105 plus before. And I looked at him and I said, Ben, are you a 105 now? And he looked at me and said, oh, yeah, Donny, I'm 105. And I looked at him and I said, it's the biggest mistake you ever made. And I just walked out.
Why would you say that to him? Okay, so what did you want? You thought he should be a 105 plus? Or you thought he should be a 94?
Oh, I think anyone who makes a decision to be 105 in this country has lost their marbles.
Why is that?
You're never going to win gold. You're never going to.
Why is that? Because of you?
Because I'm there.
Oh
and
shit!
as long as I'm there, you can just forget it. You know what I mean? Because whatever, we ain't going to get into that.
You don't get me more coffee.
I've had no coffee, you know.
Well, it's true though.
Oh my God,
it's true.
I wouldn't shut a line of coke. Wow. No, I don't do that.
Yeah, we're getting pulled off the air in a second.
Oh, but Ben, he's a great guy. He's working on another idea for me right now. I gotta email him the designs, but you know what a fantastic shirt. You know, I love that shirt.
I like it. It's simple but it says everything.
Yeah, it does.
The picture,
you know,
says everything. You don't need words. You don't need color. You don't need anything else.
And the life, you know, and to me there ain't no gray in life, because if there's gray in life, then you accept a little bit of wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, it's black and white, baby. It's black and white. You either want it or you don't. It's black and white. And the quote and the picture encompasses it all, especially for weightlifting. It's all about the pull. You go up there and pull violently. With enough repetition under your belt, everything else is going to take care of itself. But the first thing you got to do is flip that switch. And this goes back to why I said that at the competition, you know, because once I get closer to a meet, I'm sure you're the same way. You just flip that switch. You know what I mean? You got to. Yeah. You got to get that feral animal, you know, and you just go wild. And you know, about 24 hours out. I mean, once weigh-in is in, don't talk to me. You know, you can be my friend, but on that day, you're my enemy.
Please. And this is going to be a good time for you to maybe give the guy a hug through the mic here, but please tell that story of...
A mouth hug with
well, tell the story of the guy that you know. What you're talking about. That walked up to you and you looked at him and you...
Is this at Nationals?
Yeah, Nationals.
Oh, what did I say? I can't remember.
This is a good time for you to
Glenn was there, right?
Regain your relationship with him wherever he is out there.
Oh, well, first and foremost.
But you're right. I want to say that before you tell the story that you are right. When it's after weigh-in time and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Don't talk.
You know what it's got something to do with? It's about getting, I mean, I don't mind getting naked, you know. But, you know, you got to strip down and you got all those old judges looking at you, you know what I mean? You just start, it's just, what's going on here, man? I just want to lift.
Yeah.
You know? And it's battle mode. I don't know about you, but when I singlet up, I'm in front of the mirror. And I pull them singlets up from my shoulders. It's on. It's my armor. And I tell you what, if it's got red, white, and blue on it, you're done. You are done. Don't even come out. Don't even come out to lift. I give you, that's advice right there. Don't come out and lift. I'll take care of that, okay? You worry about what program you need to do. You worry about your low bar back squats.
Well, when
I forgot what I said to that guy, though. Tell me. Do you remember?
All right, let me do my best. It's a short story. It's, he said, I got it. You have the singlet strapped up. You are in the warm-up room. I think you already have done the bar. It's battle time.
Yeah.
And this guy that's in your weight class is a 105.
Yeah.
He walks up to you and he says, "Good luck today, Donny. What are you going to hit today?"
Oh, yeah.
Or what are you going to do today? That's what he said. What are you going to do today? I just wanted to know. And you looked right at him. Donny turned. I was there. I saw it.
Yeah.
You looked right at him with those eyes, those Donny Shankle eyes, that stare.
Yeah.
And you said, "I'm fixing to kick your ass."
Is that what I said?
Now, I don't do that story any justice.
I think I looked at him, and I apologize to you right now. It was all in the moment, But I looked at this guy. He said, Donny, what are you going to do today?
Yeah.
I say, I'm going to do more than you. I'm fixing to kick your ass. I mean, he didn't say anything.
He walked away.
And Glenn, his face changed colors. Glenn's been with me for a long time, But I guess on that day, I just was, I had the line in me.
Well, you took 3 gold medals.
Well, yeah, I always take 3 gold medals. Anything less is garbage. I guess not all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes a bronze in there.
Yeah.
Is good for you, right?
Yeah. No.
I'm trying to sleep better at night.
Oh, man.
Give something to me.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry out there. It'll probably happen again. That's a weigh-in, though.
Well, he understands. Any competitor is going to understand. And when I first started training at Cal Strength, my first year, I remember you were putting your knee wraps on.
Yeah, those knee wraps. I haven't.
When you sit down
I've
and
had
you
those knee
wrap
wraps since day one. I got a question on the chat room last night. How come I don't get those knee sleeves?
Oh, those do nothing.
They do nothing. After one use, they stink.
Why would you buy those?
What are they? What are they made of?
I don't even understand. It's worse than a low bar back squat. I put them on. I feel like
I know.
I don't even feel them.
What is it? Is it made of like penguin skin? What is that?
The racket is what it is.
It's a racket.
Go into
Walgreens and just get you a pair of Ace wraps.
Yep.
Ace
wraps from Rite Aid.
Ace wraps from Rite Aid.
That's all I get. Actually make them tight and man up.
You want them to get hard and gritty. You know why? Because then they turn into ropes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know what? When you got ropes wrapped around your knees and you hit the bottom of a clean or clean, it hurts.
Oh.
So you stand up because it hurts.
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I ever wore them, my legs bled.
You get bruises.
And I was telling Coach, I said, we got to loosen these bad boys up. My legs are bruising. My legs are bleeding. They hurt.
Loosen, smooshing.
And he looked at me and said, shut up and lift. That's what he told me. I said, okay. What are you going to say?
That's one of the reasons why I wear sweatpants in training. You know that? You know why I wear the knee wraps?
Yeah, you wear them over. And that's what I started.
You know why I wear the knee wraps over the sweatpants?
Yeah.
Because I got tired of wearing a singlet, wrapping my knees up, and then going home, getting in the bath, and seeing blood in the water. Because my wraps cut into my skin.
Don't think I don't see all this. I imitate a lot of things you do. A lot of people ask me, why do you pull up your right pant leg? It's a personal reason. There's no real reason for it.
You got to put the shooter up.
Donny Shankle does it. I do it.
You got to put the shooter up. You raise that left foot. Whatever leg you jerk with, right or left. I jerk with left. Most weightlifters jerk with the right. Whatever leg you shoot with, you got to raise that pant leg up.
I didn't know that's why you did it.
Oh,
I just do it for pure look.
I put it out there. I'm letting them know this is what's coming at you. Look at this leg. This is what's coming at you. Get ready.
That leg's going up their ass.
Well, not up their ass.
When are you going to let somebody win and just kind of step back?
I guess when I'm done.
Well, can I finish my story? I was actually going to tell a nice story, and you interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Well, the first time I ever touched you, that's why I never touched you.
Don't touch me.
It's going back on that, once the singlet gets put on, don't talk to me story. And I walk up, you're wrapping your knees, and you're getting, you're in the intense Donny Shankle mode. I couldn't imagine doing this to this day, but this was my first year. I walked up behind you, and I slapped you in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, let's go, Donny. You stood up. You got an inch from my face. And excuse my language, but this is a quote. You quote unquote said, "Don't ever fucking touch me."
I didn't know who you were.
And then you sat back down. And let me tell you something. I have never touched you again.
I didn't know you were from Adam at that time,
Yeah, I think that was the first 3 months or so.
Now you're going to tap me on the shoulder and say, let's go. Let's probably say, don't touch me. Weightlifting Talk. Call in.
Oh, yeah.
Down north, Donny Shankle.
With the power. We got 646-652-4173. Give us a call if you guys want to chat.
Whew.
Some people are on hold.
What are they making back there? Whew.
No, there was another time where I never touched you in training. And I never talked to you in training. Yeah. You get into a certain mode, okay? You might see these Cal Strength videos and soon-to-be Muscle Driver videos that we're talking, we're laughing, we're dancing. You know, I don't even know how this stuff even gets on videos. I don't even know that they're filming when this shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there's days where it can get kind of goofy, even though once it's time to grab the bar in training, it's game time.
Oh, yeah.
We are very, very good over years and years and years of training, of learning how to kind of goof around.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't, you know, go
and
crazy.
And the closer you get to competition, obviously, the more serious it gets.
Yeah, and then we know how that when it's actually time for you to do your set or your lift,
you know, that's why this morning I wanted to break up the, you know, the stale, serious atmosphere. You know, we're far way out from competition. We got a couple of locals, but the American Open is 6 months away. You know, and I wanted to go on there this morning. I was feeling good. I slept good last night, like I said. I wanted to go on there and just crack a couple jokes, talk to you guys, have you watch me lift, tell me what you think. I'll watch you lift, tell you what you think. Just lighten the mood, you know. I think it's important to do that every now and then. You know, but you're right. But the majority of the time, that's how you know you got good teammates. You know, when everybody shuts up and gets pissed. You know, you're not supposed to be friends with your teammates. You know, that's a big common misconception. If you got a training buddy, or if you're in a gym, especially with a guy or a girl who's in your weight class, you're not friends. You know, you're out to kill them.
A lot of people don't know this, but me and Spencer Mormon have been in a physical fight.
You've been in a physical with everybody, John.
Me and Tom Sorka. This was not on camera.
It's not.
We punched each other in the face.
Absolutely. John has an initiation process, which I absolutely love.
Talk about my initiation process with these rookies.
Short of just screwing with you, he's going to let you know that if you want to be a weightlifter and be in his gym, he's gonna test your chin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a new guy, hell, if you're a new guy, I don't know. How do you feel about hitting women? I mean, if you're a new guy and you're walking in and nobody knows you, for one, you're already got a jaded look to you. I mean, I see weightlifters coming in the gym and leaving.
I don't like them.
Oh, I don't. But if you're a new guy and you really want to, you know, well, the gym we're in now is an invitational gym, you know. So anyone who's going to come in there has already got a little bit, you know, going for them, you know, because Glenn's chosen them. But you're still going to get tested.
Yeah.
I love how you just give them that aura, that air, you know. Like, if you're going to be here, mother clucker, don't be wasting people's time. Get to business, and don't talk to me like you know me.
Yeah, I hate that.
You know, who are you? Don't talk.
You've put in absolutely no time. You have absolutely no credentials.
Yeah. Drop a bar on yourself a couple times. Go win yourself a medal, and then talk to me like you know me. You know, and it's not.
If you don't have a medal, then don't talk to me.
Let me clarify something before I go on to that. Outside of the gym,
yes,
it's different.
Yes.
Nicest guy.
I'm the nicest guy in the world.
You really are nice.
I really am.
You just bought me lunch today at Bojangles.
Yeah, I did.
You know.
My money's your money.
Damn, that was a good iced tea. But anyway.
Boy, they have great iced tea, and I don't usually like
iced tea. Isn't it really?
I don't like iced tea.
I've never been an iced tea drinker.
Well, I got a Mountain Dew for more sugar. I'm a sugar kid.
You switched to iced tea.
And I switched to iced tea because you told me to. And it was the best decision I've ever made.
Wasn't it a good decision?
Even though I didn't get that. Does iced tea have sugar in it?
Better decision than moving to South Carolina.
It's fucking humid out here.
I know. Sorry, John and I were sitting in this warehouse office, and you'd think there'd be air conditioning, but there's not. And I think I've gone down to 94.
The office we're in is out of town. I think they shut off the AC back here.
You think?
We're going to have to move into the conference room.
What were we talking about?
My initiation process.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to say Muscle Driver is huge. Huge. Oh, my God. There's like a damn town in here. There's like 3 different warehouses.
If they're going to build a warehouse that builds weights, they're going to let you know about it. You know what I mean?
I did not know that Penlay owned this much shit.
There's a warehouse across the street. You say shit over here.
Sorry.
It's not like we're sponsored by ABC. No, but there's a warehouse across the street that's 2.5 football fields long.
Yeah.
They're having to move in this facility because they're getting huge.
Yeah, they're making money for sure.
And I'll tell you, I walked. If they're making money, they're gonna let you know about it.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. My parents are hella rich, and this building is 5 times bigger than theirs. So something's going on right now. How do you think I got through school, people?
The owner's got a boat. He showed me this boat. It's a yacht.
I mean, jeez.
It's pimped out black. That's the person that ever said pimp, by the way. It's black. It's got 3 satellite TVs, 6 places to see, a master bedroom, 4 microwaves, dishwashers. I mean, you can hang out in the back and fish or just get drunk. You know what I mean? It's a yacht.
That's a yacht.
He's throwing a boat party in July.
Well, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I might have to drink a Bud Light with you.
I told him. I know. I told him it's a good thing that boat's in a lake.
I will go through a pack of cigarettes in an 18-pack. Well,
at night, though.
Right. With the life vest on.
You'll die.
With the life vest on. Responsibly.
I told him it was a good thing that he's got that sucker docked in the lake.
Yeah.
Because if it was docked in the ocean, I'm gone, baby.
Where would you go?
I don't.
You would go to.
I would take like a little odyssey around the coast.
Well, you like Asian women.
I'd probably crash into everything.
You'd go to Asia. Is Asia a country?
I mean, I got to go all the way around. You know, the Panama. I got to get to the Panama Canal and get to the Pacific. I was thinking more like just going out in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go anywhere specific. I would just go.
So you would come back though, or would?
But I've never sailed.
What are you gonna do it for water and stuff?
You get the camel back. You pack up some gowns.
Well, eventually you're gonna.
That's a good point.
I'm thinking of long term.
I would go far enough until it was time to turn around. How's that?
Yeah.
Well, this boat is great. This boat is great. This gym is great.
It's a great area.
Muscle driver is great.
Surrounded by good people.
Yeah, good people.
It's especially for both of us having our own small business.
You were talking about driving?
It's motivating to see once a small business like Muscle Driver USA turn into something like it is now.
That's great.
It gives you hope.
And they believe in weightlifters.
Yeah.
Which doesn't.
It's like what my parents did. I wrote a blog. We used to go out after dinner in our small house in an awful neighborhood, eating top ramen noodles every night, and we'd pump nail product in the little containers, and it was just an idea.
Yeah.
And now they own a warehouse that's almost as big as this.
Yeah.
But it's just it's motivating.
Yeah.
It's motivating to be around people.
It's motivating to see things come to fruition.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. Much better than what I'm saying.
Thank you.
And it doesn't have to be weightlifting. And that's why I have a lot of people that read my blog that aren't weightlifters. Just that go-getting mentality.
What do you think your general audience?
That's what Attitude Nation is. Attitude Nation is just waking up in the morning and attacking life.
Yeah.
That's all the Attitude Nation is about. It has nothing to do with weightlifting.
Yeah, they used to say it in the Marine Corps when you're running up the hill, attack the hill.
Just attack it.
Don't slow down.
It doesn't matter what.
Fall back in the rear with the gear.
Yeah.
Get up there, attack the hill, unsling that M16 and shoot the enemy.
Oh my God. Well,
get down in the prone position.
And stop low bar back squat.
Put that front side post tip on the enemy and squeeze the trigger. But you got to get up the hill first.
Are you going to tell us
what's the best way to get up the hill?
To walk?
To get up.
Well, yeah. That's
what you saying?
I know. The best way to get up the hill is you got to get up the hill. I guess it's to be there.
The best thing you say sometimes is when you don't know what's going on.
Well, a lot of coffee.
You do that.
Well, when you're in a gym,
you go, what does that even mean?
I mean, when you're in a gym all day, every day, you slightly lose your mind.
Yeah, you go a little.
You really do. A lot of sugar, a lot of caffeine.
You like to. I'm down with the caffeine. I can't do the sugar though. I'll drink coffee with you all day.
Yeah.
All day.
I like sugar.
Coffee's good for weightlifting.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, it's good for the soul.
You gotta have coffee. I mean, you gotta brew up a pot of coffee half hour before training. If you ain't brewing up a pot of coffee half hour before training, you ain't a true weightlifter.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I can't drink hot coffee. It gives me a headache. I don't know what it is. I drink iced coffees, as I like to say, on the rocks to make it sound cooler. But anybody want to call in about some coffee? Call in.
Oh man.
But what you were saying? You were talking about my initiation.
We got any callers? No callers.
Not yet. We had a few that were holding for too long that left, so I apologize to them.
Oh yeah, you're initiating.
We get to talking and we get caught up, but
yeah, Well, who went through it? Tom went through it. Spencer went through it.
Tom, Kevin.
Were you easy on Kevin?
I was easy on Kevin.
I wasn't there for Kevin.
I'll tell you one thing though. Kevin put his head down and trained.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say much to Kevin because he was a soldier, man. The first day he came in, all he did was train. He put his head down. And you know what? He asked questions for advice.
Yeah.
I hate rookies that come in that have achieved absolutely nothing, that tell you that the food you're eating is high in cholesterol.
Yeah.
Hey, John, maybe you should put down the smoke.
Yeah.
Hey, John, you know that if you drink one less coffee a day, you might actually perform better?
Yeah.
Hey, John, why do you wear those weightlifting shoes?
You know what I tell them? Maybe you should snatch and clean and jerk. Stop low bar back squatting.
No, but exactly. It infuriates me. I told this story to someone on my last seminar. Is that how the Attitude Nation started? Because throughout my life, and mostly throughout my weightlifting career, constantly people would tell me how to eat, what to do for recovery, how to train. No, John, you're doing it wrong. No, John, you need to do this. I started transforming into a sheep. I started buying with the sheep. I was no longer that black Johnny Cash sheep, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
I was being dictated.
What did I tell you that one day? You can either bleat with the sheep or you can be the shepherd.
And that quote is actually how the Attitude Nation started. And I was getting so fed up because what I was doing was working. I was just starting to win meets, right? Thought that, it was around 2010 and I just got done making my first international team. So I started seeing success and fast. I've only been in the sport for about 4.5 years.
And you were just about to break the...
And I was just about to break the American record.
You got that amount of time in it.
I just came off winning the silver medal in the American Open, my third year in the sport. Yeah. Second year. But constantly, the more I succeeded in this sport, the more people had to say of what I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
And it was when I was in my car, and a lot of people know this story, and I like to drive my car with my windows down and my AC up.
Windows down, AC up.
Okay, I wrote a blog called AC. If you ever heard me in a video yell at Kevin, AC, it's his favorite blog. It's a motivating word, AC. It means a lot to me and Kevin. And I was sitting next to a guy. He looked over at me and said, you know what, Sean? You're wasting gas. It's bad to have your windows down and the AC on. And that day, at that moment, I created the Attitude Nation. I was fed up. I was done listening to what people had to tell me.
Everybody's a professor.
I had to go to college. I had to go back to school. I had to go take this class. I had to 2 years of work experience before doing this. I had to do this in weightlifting. I had to wait a year. I had to eat this. I had to drink this. I had to sleep like this. I had to drive my car like this. Oh, John, wear a seatbelt. It's against the law. John, you should have car insurance. John, you should get your license. No, I don't want to. Leave me alone.
Everybody's a professor. There's only 3 things you got to do. Pay taxes, please your woman, and crush clean and jerks. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do.
That was the best quote I've ever heard you ever say in my whole entire life.
Pay your taxes, please your woman, and crush clean and jerks. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get that tattooed. I am so you know what I don't like about it though? You totally one up my story. I was in the zone and then you came right over the top of me. You son of a bitch. But it was at that moment where I finally said enough is enough. I'm a self-made man. I make my own money. I make my own success, even though I have people in my corner. I've never asked anybody for a dime. Well, besides my parents have helped me from time to time, which family should.
Yeah.
Which family should. And that's when I created the Attitude Nation. I put up my finger to USA Weightlifting. I put on my black coat, grabbed my guitar, and I marched with the Attitude Nation.
At the end of the day, it's just you, and it's always going to be just you. You know? So, yeah, I understand you, man. We used to talk about Martin Pashoff, one of the guys that everybody's a professor. And he was right. Everybody's a professor. Everybody's got to put their 2 cents in. You know what? Go snatch, clean, and jerk. All right? And then come talk to me. So. Yeah, that was one of my favorite blogs, AC. I loved it, man. I loved it.
Well, I don't know why.
Weightlifting Talk, John.
I'm starting to calm down. You're listening to Weightlifting Talk.
So we should bring it down a little bit.
What's that?
We should bring it down a little bit. We got a couple minutes left.
Whew.
We still got to train.
We got to train
in 30 minutes.
3 o'clock.
I think we burned up all our emotion.
Well, I'm going to go to Starbucks. Get another coffee.
You going to get me a coffee?
Well, I
think you're like,
my mind is not off of what we're talking about because I feel it's so important that when I came into Cal Strength to train with you, you were my coach. That was before Glenn was even here.
That's how it started, dude.
You were my coach for the first 6 months.
No, I wouldn't say that long. About 3 or 4.
3 or 4. I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
And I was in hell.
And what did I have you do?
I was on no program.
Yeah.
I snatched. This is not an exaggeration. I snatched, clean and jerked, and squatted. Okay, at least 7 times a day. Maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. Every day.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. And I remember laying there because I had tendonitis in my elbow bad. Not only was the training hard, but my elbow was killing me. I never said anything. I just grabbed it. This is a time in my life where I knew what I had to do to succeed. I was at a dead-end job. I just dropped out of college. And I was going nowhere fast. I knew I had to make this work. So I didn't say anything. I just kept training. And I remember you stood over the top of me and your shadow casted over me. And I think I was actually, even at this point, I will admit, I think I was even crying. I was teary-eyed from the pain. But again, I knew what I had to do. I wanted to achieve something in my life. I was tired of being a nobody. I was going to parties when there were people, Americans, that were fighting in Iraq, protecting my freedom. And I was partying. I was disgusted with myself. I had to put in the time. And a shadow casted over me, and I'll never forget what you said. You looked at me and said, "I'm going to break you down, boy."
Did I really say that? I really said that, didn't I?
"I'm going to break you down, boy." And then you walked away.
Damn. I think there's definitely a period where, a weightlifter has to go through that. I'm not a big believer in training broken down for the majority of the time in training. A lot of coaches believe that. I don't believe that at all. But I do believe that there is a point that you're going to be in that gym and people are going to work with you. And, because weightlifting, it takes 10, 12, 13, 15 years to be a great weightlifter. You got to know. And the people that work with you, they got to know. And the teammates that want to train with you. And I'll tell you what, right now, you're the best teammate I've ever trained with. The best teammate I've ever trained with.
Thank you.
The best, if it wasn't for you, I certainly wouldn't be snatching as heavy as I am, If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be clean and jerking as heavy as I am, because you majority of the time you tie me in a snatch, and I got to pull in front of your ass in a clean and jerk. So, I really do that. We work well together, and we've always had, But, but there's definitely that point where if someone's coming to the gym, you gotta put them right into it, right into the thick at first, so that they see this is what training is going to be like. And training isn't all dark. Training's fun. But there is that moment when somebody does come in, you got to give them a wake up call. You got to say, hey, this is what you're going to be doing for a long time. This is how you're going to feel. I don't think there's really ever been a day where I've not walked around not sore. People tell me that they're sore. I'm like, well, isn't that how you're always supposed to feel? So you got to go through that initially. And I tell you what, I'm glad you stuck with it. And you're not a nobody. You're definitely, one of the nicest guys to somebody and a damn good weightlifter.
Well, thanks, Donny. It means a lot to me, and I'm trying my hardest and my damnedest to get my clean and jerk up to push you in that as well. Because at the end of the day, you have to be selfish, like you always say. And when you're selfish, it positively affects the next guy next to you, the guy next to you. And, I feel that...
Be selfish in pursuit of going to get your dreams. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel right off the bat, the very first day we trained together, when I drove out there, we had a certain understanding that can't be explained. And we still do, even though we're two very opposite people. People like to say that I'm like Cloak Off, and Donny's like his teammate Chikashev. Donny's a little quieter, I'm a little crazier. I do the yelling, he does the heavy lifting. But it's funny how two opposites attract, and there's a certain understanding that you just can't teach, and you can't, I guess, can't repeat.
I know you're going to be there for Rio. I'm just, I want to be there with you. You know, I think we're going to go do it, you know. 4 years from now, you know, and there's no other one I want to train with to go get there, who I think could get me there than John North, you know. So I just want to plug the Artist and the Olympian one more time. If you haven't done so already, go to Kickstarter.com, type in the Artist and the Olympian, and make your donation. It's going to be a fantastic movie that shows on film what basically John and I are talking about. You know? And it's going to be great for the sport, you know. So please, Kickstarter.com, type in the Artist and the Olympian. The director is Adam Shiner. The guy knows what he's talking about. I'm going to be in the little short that they're filming soon. All the help, really, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, definitely go there and donate. It's exciting not only for Donny, but it's extremely exciting for the sport of weightlifting.
Getting hamstring cramps, dude.
It's a long time.
It's hot, it's drawn out. I'm sitting here next to John, and I'm squirming in my chair, grabbing my hamstring because my hamstring keeps knotting up. It's the hydration.
The growth of this sport is exciting.
Oh, gosh, the sport's going to go crazy.
I mean, even what we're just doing right now, you know. And thanks to CrossFit. They've done a lot.
CrossFit's great.
Yeah, CrossFit has been a savior.
I mean, if there wasn't CrossFit gyms, I don't think, you know, I got started in weightlifting before there was even CrossFit. There was no such thing as CrossFit. And I think we had maybe 5,000 followers, of which 90% were weightlifters, you know. Now, weightlifting, I'd say the great thing CrossFit has done is it's given weightlifting a fan base. It's introduced people to the lifts, you know, and I hear it all the time. Oh, I was doing CrossFit. I learned Olympic lifting through CrossFit. Now I want to be an Olympic weightlifter. I don't do CrossFit anymore. I get that a lot. Yeah, do you get that at all? You know, you got CrossFitters that want to make that transition because they find the lifts to be addicting, you know, because it's a great sport. You know, it really is. It's a great sport. I hate it, but I love it, you know. So we didn't get a lot of callers today.
It's a great sport, and you're right. You hate it, but you love it, and it's a lifesaver. It saved my life. I know it saved many others' lives. You know, and I say that it's I don't have any love for weightlifting. I'll tell you what I have love for: athletics. I love sports. I love being an athlete. I could be anything right now. After I had to quit football because of concussions, I didn't care what it was. I didn't care if it was badminton, poker, tennis, golf, you name it. It doesn't matter to me what it was, as long as that I can compete and I could be an athlete and I could fight. I just happened to run across weightlifting. That was in my path. That's where my strength coach, gave me the idea, and I was just led to weightlifting like a horse to water. So, yes, I love weightlifting, but I love athletics more. I love being an athlete, and I love discipline. Without discipline, in my opinion, if a man, the 90 seconds popped up in my headphone and almost put me out of my chair. We have 90 seconds left for the second episode of Weightlifting Talk.
That's a good topic for the next show, though, how we both get started.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, I feel. And we're going to do this every Friday at 1 o'clock.
Every Friday at 1 o'clock.
Hour and a half show. Please call in. And listen, even though we say, just put your head down and lift, you can still talk. You can still call in. I feel like ever since the phone lines just completely dropped, which is hilarious to me. We're talking about in training. There's a big difference. But we have a ton to talk about. The philosophy of a weightlifter, the hell that's casted upon us every day.
And if you want to get more and learn more about what John and I have to say, go please visit our blogs. Mine's DonnyShankle.blogspot.com.
JohnNorth.blogspot.com, a.k.a. The Dark Orchestra.
pretty much you'll read pretty much exactly what we're talking about, you know. If you have any questions that you'd like to have answered about weightlifting, go ahead and please email me. My email address is on my blog. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's listening. John, we got 10 seconds. You want to say anything?
Thanks for listening, guys. That's it.
Later.
Salute.